Hey everybody, my name is Scott, and today we're going to solve the designed compressed string iterator problem on LeetCode. For this problem, it's not so much that we're going to come up with a clever algorithm or anything. There's a decent amount of code to write as far as these problems are concerned, so we're going to run through the problem definition and get down to implementing it. We need to implement a data structure for a compressed string iterator, supporting next and has next. So let's take a look at what that means. So here's what they're going to give to our constructor, a string like this, where it's a letter followed by a number. The number represents the number of times that letter occurs in the word. There's one L, there's two E's, there's one T, there's one C, one O, one D, one E, making up the word LeetCode. So that's how it works. That's what we're given to work with. And when they call next, we have to return the next string. So here they call next L, E, E, so on and so forth. When they call has next, we have to tell them if there is a next string or not. True or false. And if they call next and there is no next character, we return the empty character. So here's how we're going to implement it. We have a class, and we're going to keep a couple of linked lists. Both of them, well, one of them being an integer, counts. And keep a linked list character. Alright, so we're also going to keep the current count, and we're going to keep the current character. So those are going to be our class level variables that we can access. Let's write the constructor. The constructor is going to do pretty much all the work. Just set up our linked list, initialize them. There's going to be mad typos in this when we're done, just as a forewarning. Alright, so we're going to have a pointer called P. While P is less than compressed string.length. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to loop through the string, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull out each character. And then once we pull that character out, we're going to pull out the number of times it occurs. We're going to put that character into the cars linked list, and we're going to put the count of the number of times it occurs into the counts linked list. Okay? So there's our current character. If it's not a digit, what are we going to do? Well, if it's not a digit, then that means it's a character that occurs in the string. Put it into our cars linked list. And increment P to go to the next character. Else, so it is a digit. Well, if it's a digit, we can't just assume it's a one-digit number. We have to check and see if it's more than one digit. Say a letter occurs 12 times in a row. So we've got to pull that out. Lower pointer is P, and while P less than compressed string length and character is a digit, what will we do? We'll just increment P. All this is doing is we keep a low pointer at the first digit, we run P up to the highest digit, and then we pull out that substring and add it to our counts. Alright, that should do for our loop. Now what we're going to have to do is set up the current character which is counts.poll. If you don't know the poll method of a linked list, it returns and removes the head of the linked list. No, already did that one. I hear you yelling at me at home. I switched these. That looks better. That should do for the constructor, barring any missing semicolons, that is. Alright, the good news is the constructor is all the work. Next and have next are pretty easy. So next, remember, if they call next and we have nothing to give them, we return the empty character. If we do, we just return the next character. So how do we know if we're out of characters? We are out of characters if we have nothing left in our linked list to pull out, and the current count of the current character we're on is equal to 0. If that's the case, return empty character. Not the case, then we return the current character. And then what do? We decrement the current count, because we are returning one of those current ones, so we got to decrement the count. If the current count becomes 0 after we decrement it, then we have to get a new character. And we need to get a new size as well. And that should do it for the work in there. And I promise that has next is very easy. It's just the not of that condition that we checked up there. And yeah, we could have done some code reuse here, but it's leak code. We're not worried about such things. Alright, that should do it. Let's fix all those syntax errors and typos. Oh, get out of town. There's no way there was not a single syntax error misspelling in there. Let's give it a whirl. Hey, accepted. Alright, so this was just a design problem. Nothing super fun about that. Just whenever you need to do a design problem, think about the type of class variables that you need, which we have up here. And then you want to, if you're going to do a lot of work, it's usually not the worst idea for your time complexity to do your work in your constructor, because usually what they're going to do is they're going to call your constructor one time and then they're going to call these guys a whole lot of times. So you want to optimize these guys. So that's it for this one. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you next time.